Hi, I wanted to pop on because I've had a few calls this week with potential clients and also with clients who've been working with me. And the potential clients are talking about why they can't internal orgasm anymore, or wanting to know why they can't internal orgasm. Maybe they could do it previously, before children or before menopause, or maybe they have never internal orgasm before and I seen it as something wrong with them, or something that's just not available to them, something that they've been told by their GP that they just can't have. Now, I was told this by my GP that some women can't internal orgasm. I actually was listening to a podcast by a relationship coach the other day, an amazing relationship coach. And she said that a lot of women can't internal orgasm and was talking about the clit orgasm again. And I was like, no, I think we all know the clit orgasm. I know that when I was growing up, it was talked about a lot, and that is amazing. And I was like, oh, okay, this is how we orgasm then. And it meant that I never discovered until 2019 how to internal orgasm and the reasons why I struggled to internally orgasm. And I'm a pelvic floor coach, so I could fix women and get them from leaking to dry. But it was something that you'd think that I was connected to my body because of that. I was a Pilates instructor, fitness instructor, so you'd think that I was connected to my body, particularly as a pelvic floor coach. Yeah, I wasn't. So in 2019, I wanted to discover if I could internal orgasm instead of just listening to what the doctors had told me. And this has taken me on an amazing journey, which is why I do the work that I do now. So often I'm asked, where's my orgasm gone? Or it's just not the same as it was before kids or before menopause, or just doesn't feel right, or it's painful, or I have low libido, I have a lack of desire, or I get it, but it's just not like how the movies say it is, or what I read about, and I want more, but is more available to me. So, and this comes from receiving a message a few weeks ago from a lovely lady who is working with her partner on her intimate connection. And she had a deep internal orgasm that she said was just breathtaking, reduced her to tears in the most beautiful way, and how it's really bringing them together as a couple. Because are you even in a relationship if you're not having intimate connection? Are you just like housemates living together? And what I don't want is women like women have done in the past, which is, okay, well, to be in a relationship, we need to have intimate connection. There you go. Don't really fancy it, but I'll open my legs, I'll have a few glasses of wine, I'll make the right noises, I'll thrust fast, we'll do it fast and furious, he'll come quick, job's done. Like, I'm not into that kind of sex either. Neither am I anymore into sex which involves frantically rubbing my clit or using a sex toy. So my sex toy, my rampant rabbit, is actually gathering dust. It hasn't been charged for ages. I just don't feel like I want it. That doesn't mean that it will never come out. That doesn't mean that I'm against toys. That doesn't mean that I'm against clit orgasms. But they're like trying to play the piano with only the black keys. And I want to use the white keys as well, okay? I've just realised I said that and I was like, oh, does that come across as racist? That is not what I mean at all. I think you know that. Just came into my head and I was like, oh, okay. So why are some women unable to receive internal orgasms and some women that can? That is an amazing question and I don't have the answer. What I do have the answer to is, if you are a woman that struggles to internal orgasm, how you can internal orgasm and not believe what the doctors tell you. Now, one of the I don't know. I remember my first experience of sex and I was very disappointed because I was like, is that it? I didn't feel anything other than pain and a bit of discomfort and knowing that something was inside me, but I wasn't feeling anything pleasurable. With my first experience, there was also a little bit of shame involved because was I too young? What would my mom say? I really shouldn't have maybe done it. Was I even ready? And my first sexual experience was actually also beautiful. Okay, we're not going to name the guy, but beautiful. He relaxed me. There was a lot of stroking. There was a lot of loving, but really, I don't think my body was ready. And then there was also a little bit of shame and embarrassment involved as well. So, was it that my body wasn't ready to be entered, even though I was wet? Did that mean that my pleasure muscles, right, my pleasure nerves kind of contracted and pulled away and I was numb? Was it the shame that meant afterwards they contracted, the nerves contracted and felt numb? Was it that I was so scared that I contracted and went numb? Who knows? But between the ages of when I lost my virginity at 14 years old to when I were in 2019, when I was 40 something, I'd only received a couple of internal orgasms. And I know I used to think that I was the only woman, that I was different, that my body was wrong, right? And now working with women and sharing my story and being open, honest, and vulnerable, right? I don't know how more vulnerable and open and honest I can be on social media. That more and more women are coming to me. And when I help women with orgasms, we take the goal of orgasm actually out, which is mad, right? Like women are coming to me to receive more, and I'm like, right, we're taking the goal of orgasm out. And we're bringing a goal of sensation in, okay? So that was one reason why. I'm gonna list another quite a few reasons that I have been through many of these, not all of these. And I know if I have been through many of these, then you probably have as well. So traumatic breakups, being with a narcissist, toxic relationships, feeling unseen, feeling unloved, feeling unsupported, and having sex with somebody that we didn't truly want to be with anymore, or that we were fearful of, or felt unsafe with, or we didn't love, or we were having it out of duty, right? So that's one. When we come out of a relationship, it's really important to allow our vagina to get their energy out of us, right? When we're in a relationship, we've had somebody else's energy inside us as women. And it wasn't until 2018 actually that I discovered this, and I was a little bit repulsed by thinking, oh my God, their energy is inside me, right? I was a bit, how do I get this out? Can I get soap up there and scrub it? But it's not about that. It's about like coming back into your body and releasing all that tension, all that anger, all that resentment, all that lack of love, all that unsafe feeling deep inside. So that is something that I did 2018/19 after my breakup, but I'd never done it before, and I'd had a lot of breakups, a lot of relationships. Then we're looking at trauma. So when we think about trauma, we think about rape. If you've seen my post on Instagram, I've never been raped, but it's on the top 3 lines of the squares of the grid. You can read more about trauma. If you're not on Instagram, let me know and I will send it to you. And it is about, I've never been raped, but Okay, I've never been raped, but I've been entered when it wasn't a full-bodied yes. I've never been raped, but I've experienced sexual trauma. Okay, so, and I was talking to somebody, I'm not going to mention who, but in the 1960s stroke 50s maybe, actually, probably late 50s. She had been babysitting and there was a lift and the man was walking her home, who she'd been babysitting for, the part of the couple, and he touched her up in the lift. And these things happened quite a lot, okay? So we are also often being birthed through women that have had sexual trauma. So this can be another reason. And I honestly believe that when we heal our sexual trauma, we heal generations before and the next generation, okay? So yeah, trauma also as in medical trauma. So this could be birth, this could be miscarriage, this could be abortion, this could be hysterectomy, this could be IVF, this could be a laser treatment, this could be cervical smears. Okay, so there's a lot of trauma. I'm going red, oh my God, thinking again about my birth trauma, and I've done a lot of work on that. But that can be one of the reasons why I often feel touched out and don't want to be touched down there because of the trauma I've just mentioned, okay? And that can make my internal pleasure sensation muscles pull away, right? It's almost like, what did I write down? It's almost like the nerves which help my sensation kind of disappear and shrivel up and go away. And I can feel touched out, even though I'm often pleasure starved as well, because I believe we all need more pleasure in this world. So surgery, I've said, fear of this area of our body. So fear of prolapse. I've got a prolapse. I know I work with or have worked with a lot of women that because of their prolapse, they're so fearful of this area. They're like holding it tight. This can happen with leaking as well. It can also be the wrong message that we've received that we need a tight vagina. And actually that's not true. We actually need a soft, supple, gentle, open vagina. We don't need a gripped tight one. So again, that can be a reason. In my Radiant Woman course, we talk a lot about sex and the psyche. This is huge. So we can also see pleasure as something that is naughty, is dirty, is shameful, and we can be grossed out by pleasure. We can also be grossed out by our own body, okay? Particularly down there. It can be like an area we dislike, don't want to touch, don't want to look at. It's not right, it's abnormal, our flaps are too long, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So prolapse, leak, I mentioned IVF, C-section, hysterectomy, loving our partner and saying yes, even though it wasn't a full-bodied yes. I think I've already mentioned that. Having this idea that if we go harder, if we go faster, if there's more thrusting, if there's more vibration, then we're going to get more sensation. Whereas actually for women, that can dull our sensation, okay? So looking at this kind of goal orientated, not feeling safe is huge. So not feeling safe in our body, not being connected, not being embodied, not having body confidence, and not feeling safe seen in the relationship. And this can be as simple as, this is a really funny one actually, our partner forgetting bread. Every time we say, can you get bread home? Can you get bread on the way home from work? Can you remember this? Can you make sure you put the toilet seat down? Can you do this? And they keep forgetting. We will feel as women unseen. And when women feel unseen, we feel unloved. And there's no way we are going to open our legs and have amazing sensation. We may open our legs, but we're not going to have amazing sensation if this is happening. Okay. Yeah, and we can't connect to something that we're disconnected from. So in Radiant Woman, nothing has been penetrated. We've not used crystal wands, we've not used yoni eggs, we've not had fingers up there, we've not been talking about penetration, we've not been talking about orgasm, and we are on week 3 now. It has all been about why we delay pleasure, sex and the psyche, feeling safe in our body, and learning to connect with ourselves, because we can't, I don't want to use the word fix something, but we can't, like, I'm going to use fix because I can't think of a different word. We can't fix something that we're disconnected from. Okay? So we need to feel safe and a connection. So whose, I don't want to say issue or problem is it? Whose needs to, like, so say you want this internal orgasm, or you want to feel something deeper, more flutters, change sex. You don't know how you want to change it, but you know that the love making that you're having at the moment isn't the kind of love making that you want. So what do? Well, it's actually up to you, because your partner is probably enjoying it and he thinks that everything's fine, or maybe it's like, why doesn't she want me anymore? Like, it's the same size, I'm exactly the same person, like, doesn't she want me anymore? He will feel rejected. He won't understand unless we open these conversations. It is up to you, okay, because it is your body. We cannot say, well, I'll wait and my partner won't be interested in any of this, therefore I'm not going to bother. Of course, actually you can say that, and that's fine, right? It's about educating yourself and then educating your partner, and you will start to have love worth making. You really, really will, because the whole point of life is pleasure, and the relationship needs intimate connection. Otherwise you are two housemates. I have to say, I put out, just before me and my ex-partner split up, I went on holiday with him, and I was like, do you know what? Yeah, he brought me some sexy underwear from Ann Summers, and I honestly thought, if I bought this sexy underwear, if I got another high vibe toy, if I lost weight, if I felt more body confident, and I just had it more, because that's what my doctor told me. Have it more and you'll have more libido, you'll have more desire. In actual fact, it worked the other way. So I ended up spreading my legs, giving it to him, desperate for this to work. And in actual fact, I ended up resenting him. So that is pretty honest and vulnerable. I believe I need to be honest and vulnerable for women to be drawn towards me. Radiant Woman, the doors for Radiant Woman were closed a while ago now. I have space for 2 women to start working with me. I know it's a busy period, it's before Christmas, blah, 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 blah. But what if you got ahead of yourself and your relationship? I know that every single watching you that have been drawn to this Facebook Live, you've been drawn to it for a reason. And what if this was the gift that you needed? What if this was the gift that your relationship needed, yet you're both going out buying things? Like, if my partner asks me once more what I want for Christmas in the way of things, right? What if this was it? Okay, because I have to say, when my ex-partner was having some, he was like so much happier in life, right? And I have so many clients that say that their partners seem depressed, and I'm like, well, of course they are if they're not having it, but then we don't want to give it if we're not ready, and the cycle continues. There will always be, like, it will always be a busy time. Let me know this year when it hasn't been a busy time. And then maybe we can sort out a few weeks in that year to work together. Yeah, this work is so needed. It's so important and it's so beautiful. So reach out to book a call with me. We literally grab a cuppa and we just chat. There's no obligation whatsoever. I know that the work that I do now, it needs you to feel safe and supported. It needs you to trust that person. Yeah, I'm going to shut up. See you later. Bye.